All right.
So Rob, since we were talking about the bevel, this is my 3/4 inch. Do you think I need to do that also? Lengthen it up?
Can you just hold it up against the camera a bit further, Jeff? Yeah, a bit too blunt.
Okay. And this is the sister version, which is a 1 inch.
Yeah. Now, you probably have trouble using that. It wants to bite.
Okay.
Quickly. And that's because of the length of the bevel.
Okay.
Now, rule of thumb is that the bevel length should be 1.5 to 2 times the thickness. So if you have a 6mm skew chisel, your bevel length should be 9 to 12 millimeters long from the cutting edge to the heel. I prefer a shorter bevel. I prefer the 1.5, the 9. Because of the teach, it is a lot more controllable than a long bevel.
Okay.
And in harder timbers, you knock if you've got a very long bevel, not that you Americans have got many hard timbers, it tends to blunt a lot quicker.
Okay.
So can you explain that a little more thoroughly? Because I didn't get it.
Okay, rightio. I'll just get my big skew chisel here. Just highlight me for a minute, Jeff.
Okay.
Please.
There you go.
Right. Just got to get it set up right so as you can see it. Right. Now, this is the part we're talking about, Sandy. This part here.
Okay.
That's called your bevel. This is your cutting edge up here. And this is the heel of the bevel down here. So if the chisel is, this one's an 8mm. So this part here, if you work on 1.5 to 2 times the thickness of the steel here, across here, the thickness there, this bevel here should be either, with this one's 8mm, as I said, that should be 12 to 16 millimeters long, all right? So you get a long bevel down the side here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you get it too short, it's very hard to get a cut. It doesn't want to, it's like a pocket knife. If you put a very thin, like a very sharp sort of edge on a pocket knife, it's harder to sharpen a pencil with. As soon as you lengthen a little bit, it just slices through the timber a bit easier.
So is the dimensions of the length of the bevel then, like, if you go, like, the width of the tool is like, say, 1/3 inch. I know you don't do inch, but then you come down, it 3/3.
No, the thickness it is, the thickness down there, not the width, not across here.
Yeah, the thickness.
The thickness of the steel. So it's 1.5 times the length here. So if you've got a 6mm skew chisel, 6mm thick across here, you go down 9 or 12, all right?
All right. Thank you.
That just gives you a rough idea of the angles. I don't work much on angles. It's 25 degrees and all that sort of thing. I don't particularly worry about that. But you can get the bevels too short.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm working the camera or the zoom and everything today. So
Yeah.
Review. So anyway, since we're starting, I just want to say hi to everybody and thanks for joining us. And as you can see, we've already started into the discussion on the skew chisel. So there's one tool that always brings up lots of questions.
And a lot of arguments.
And a lot of arguments, yeah. So,
yeah, it's rather strange that a little piece of steel can cause so much frustration and angst.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think one thing that is bad, and I see this with a lot of different tools, is people watch a lot of YouTube videos, and in YouTube videos, they tend to speed things up multiple times the normal speed. So the viewer starts to get in the sense that you have to be moving fast like that to get it to work. And when they slow down normal speed, they're actually moving along the timber quite slowly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's for the YouTube producers, it's kind of a blessing and a curse, you know, because people complain when they go too slow, then they complain when they go too fast. You know, there's no easy medium. They're trying to get as much content in a short period of time as possible. So, you know, I just revert back to the days when I took guitar lessons and I was learning lead guitar, and my instructor always said, you got to go slow before you can go fast. And
well, that's right. The speed I work at is probably what a lot of people would call 4 or 5 times their speed.
yeah, but you've been doing it for a couple weeks. So
just a few, yeah.
Yeah.
If I hadn't learned anything by now, I shouldn't be doing it.
I don't know. I think you're always learning. I think we always learn.
Well, one would hope so. If you stop learning, you shouldn't be doing it, in my opinion.
Right. Well, my grandfather used to say, you stop learning the day they plant you in the ground. And so
right. And how many have we got that have got a piece of wood in the lathe or in their workshop? Just you, is it?
I think it's you and I. That's it.
Sandra's putting up.
Oh, Sandy?
Sandra's putting up 4.
Okay.
I got a carrot.
You got a carrot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbo, that's what they had at the retreat. The lady that was teaching Skew chisel started everybody out with a carrot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I actually did a better job on the carrot than I did on the wood.
Well, carrot just gets out of the way. I've peeled an apple with a Skew chisel on a lathe, just for the hell of it. All right. Working with a carrot. Okay. Just move back a bit. All I can see is your thumb, Sandy.
I'm trying to find a place to put this. Okay.
You've got to get a tripod with a phone mount. That's what I did. Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Oh, well, let's see. Oh, I suck.
So I'm going to start spinning mine, which means I got to put on a face mask. So I've got to take my headphones off. So hopefully I'll be able to hear you guys.
Have you got a safety glasses, Jeff?
Well, these are safety glasses, but the problem is I'm very anal about having a full face shield after my accident. I get very nervous if I'm turning without a face shield.
Yep. No, spindle turning's the safer end of turning.
Yeah.
I know that sounds funny, except the stuff I do, of course.
So yeah, I guess one of the things I'm going to do now is that I've given up on the whole idea of video cameras and stuff and just using what I'm using is I got to get a set of computer speakers because my computer isn't that loud. And
yeah, that's my problem. I can't hear my computer speakers either.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, rough that bit of timber down to round.
Okay. We just had another person join us.
Yep. Hey, Robbo. Hey, Jeff.
Hello, Cade. How are you?
How you doing, Cade?
How you going, Cade?
Hey, Jay.
All right.
Hi, Sandra.
Okay.
Hi.
Jeff, would you like to just spotlight me, please, before you disappear?
I don't know. Oh, I think I got my carrot.
Yep.
Do I have my carrot?
Yeah, the camera's on. It's on your lathe. You can see the spindle.
Okay.
I turned off my air filter, so it'd be a little easier for me to hear.
Let me see what can I make today. Been so busy getting everything ready. The baby will be here any day.
Oh, fingers crossed.
I know. Nerve wracking.
Oh,
Jeff,
Yes,
can you hear?
I can. So
Can
far,
you spotlight Robbo? Because it keeps flicking around to other different people.
Oh, there's that J guy again. Uh-oh.
oh, there's
Yeah.
Rob.
Quick leave. Yeah, you're wrecking the joint.
I'll get my chuck off. It's been on there for a day or two.
Right, just to explain a couple of things here. I've deliberately put a larger bit of timber in so that I can do various cuts on it. Now, normally I have the tool rest about a finger width away, but because of the long rest that I've got here, I don't want to keep moving it when I'm working. So I've set it up about 3 or 4 millimeters away from the longest edge here, and it's going to get out of the way in a couple of seconds. Now, remember that when you're starting to rough down a square piece of timber, never start at an end and run right along like that. It's very easy. It's very easy to actually lift a whole chunk off like that and it will hit you. So always start from an end and work back towards the end. So come in about an inch for you Americans and work towards the end like this. Let the lathe build up to full speed. Now I said last week to leave about an inch of quill out of the tailstock and don't tighten the lock. Now's when I tighten the lock. Tighten up the tailstock and bring the lock up, because when the timber starts spinning, it spins into the timber and it can come loose. Right, take it down around, folks. When you get to the other end, go back the other way. Don't put your hand over the top, use your chisel and listen for any vibration. Says he who just puts his hand across the top. But if you do put your hand across the top, don't just use your fingertips. Always put the palm of your hand up there.
Okay, I'm going to turn mine around then. Whoops, I got somebody coming in. So perhaps that seems to be coming back a little bit. What we feel that you kind of turn that corner.
Right, Sandra, can you lift your camera up a little bit, please? I'm only getting the tailstock handle.
what?
Can you lift your camera up a little bit? I'm only getting the tailstock handle.
Okay.
Your locking thing.
Oh,
I can't see what you're turning.
how high does it have to go?
I don't know. You lift it up, I'll tell you when to stop.
All right. Oh, let's see. Here? More?
No, a bit more,
Okay.
and you're moving it closer to the lathe too.
The black handle that's in front of the camera, can you move that?
Oh, okay.
'Cause that's really what's in the way, if anything.
Like that?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Right. Good.
More higher?
A little bit more height if you can get it, it'd be handy.
Okay. Just looking for a piece of wood. I got this one. Okay. Oh, there. How's that?
That'll do.
Okay. I traded my carrot for a piece of wood because I saw you rounding. I think I'm gonna learn. I can do. Oh. Okay.
How you going there, Jeff? You winning?
Now we're supposed to round it?
Yes, get it down around, please, Sandy.
Okay. Okay. I seem to have this never happened before. It's it's locked.
You've got your spindle lock in, probably take it out.
Spindle lock. How do I do that?
Well, there should be a little button that you lock the spindle up to change the chucks or something.
Hmm.
All right.
I'm sorry to hold everybody up.
You're right.
Not holding anyone up.
Okay, let me show you.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, can you see anything?
Yeah, that button on the top.
Right
What's
here?
that? Is that a light?
Where?
The big,
This-
the black thing sitting on top of the headstock.
This?
That's a
That's
light.
That's just a light.
Right. Okay. Just put the camera on the headstock so that I can see it.
Right.
Round
Do I
near the
have-
spindle. Drop the camera down a bit. Right. Now, just move around the lathe a little bit and keep the headstock in the camera so that I can see it. Can you just highlight Sandy for a minute, please, Jeff? Right. Give us a look at the back of the headstock. What sort of lathe is it? A Laguna, is it?
It's a Laguna.
They normally have a...
Maybe if you attached it to the drill press base, it would almost have a bird's eye view of your tailstock downwards on the piece of timber.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for a spindle lock on it.
Oh, the spindle lock. Oh, I
Is
thought
that
you were
this?
looking for a camera angle. Okay.
Is that this?
It could be that red knob.
Red?
Yeah,
There's a red knob on the headstock.
a little
Drop the
lower.
cam-
to the left.
Drop the camera a bit. That red knob, what does it do?
This?
Yeah, show me on the camera, please, Sandy. Does it pull out?
On the headstock.
No,
Does
it
that
doesn't
red
pull.
does that red knob pull out?
No,
Right.
you push it in.
Okay,
Sorry?
so if you push it in, it might lock the headstock.
Yeah.
Right. Now can you
What-
pull it
what-
out?
No,
Oh,
Wait on, go back. Go back to the back of the thing again.
yeah, that black knob right there.
Is that right out?
it's sticking out.
Hey, give me a better shot of it, please, Sandy. I can't see it.
Okay, sorry. Am I there yet?
No,
A little
keep
to
going
the
back.
left.
No, back. You're going down. Right, now go back a bit.
There. Yeah.
What's that
That
black
little-
knob?
This knob,
Yeah,
Turn the spindle, and if you push that in, it might lock into one of the indexing points, and that would be your headstock lock pin. I believe, right? My buddy has a Laguna, and it seems to be on the back end of the headstock there.
I was running it with the carrot a minute ago. I don't know what I did wrong. Well, okay, so I just tried to turn it on and it doesn't,
yeah,
not working.
right. Does the timber turn around in the lathe? Can you turn it around by hand?
it's locked. It's locked.
Right,
Oh,
you've
sweet.
got a spindle lock in there somewhere.
So that's
Put,
the
I
black
reckon
knob
put the
you
carrot
turn.
back in there. Put the carrot back in there.
It probably only turned because the carrot was just grating away by itself.
What should I do?
It'll
Right,
be the knob on the
there's a
headstock.
spindle lock in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Wonder, let me see.
The knob you turned on the end of the headstock there, that would have been the tailstock lock. So if you turn it the opposite way, it should disengage.
What model number is it?
Yeah, Google will tell you.
1836, I think. Or it might be, no, 1218 or 1236.
See, where is this?
They're all the same.
Yeah, it's a little black knob on the back.
Do I have the wrong drive, the wrong drive?
No, that drive's fine.
Okay,
Just Sandy, can you
Yeah.
hold the camera steady, please?
I'm sorry.
Right. Thank you. Now, what does that red knob there do?
Oh no.
I think you push that when you put the key in for the chuck.
Right. Well, pull it out. Make sure it's pulled right out. No,
It-
pull it.
There's nothing to grab onto to pull it out. It's
All right.
flush.
Does it unscrew? The black knob on the end by the spindle there.
Do I have it? It's screwing down. I've got.
Lift Hold the
Okay.
camera steady and lift it up a little bit, please.
Okay,
Right.
I'm unscrewing that now.
Right. Just unscrew it and see what happens.
Oh, there.
Okay. I'm
Does it
gonna turn the lathe on now.
Does it turn now?
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, you put the spindle lock in.
Yeah, that's
that's the
lock.
spindle lock. I'm
That's
sorry
the
for
spindle
all
lock.
this. Okay,
Rightio. Take it
Oh.
down to, put your camera back and take it down to round.
okay. Now that I made everybody seasick.
No problem at all. It's all, we're all learning.
right.
Right. Now, drop the camera down just a fraction, please. Just a fraction more. Whoa, too far.
It seems like it's rocket science. How's that?
Right. Now just move it a little bit. Just swivel it around a bit to the left, please. Other way.
Okay.
Right. That's better. Good. Leave it there.
Okay.
Do not touch.
Do not touch. Thank you for helping me.
It's all right.
Sandy?
Yeah.
This weekend, I'm going to send you a couple links. One of them is for a tripod, and one of them is for a mount for your cell phone on the tripod. That will save you a lot of grief.
Okay, right now I'm using my, I've got my iPad on it.
Okay. Is that what you're using as an iPad rather than a cell phone?
Uh-oh, it's locked again.
No, it hasn't. You got it sitting against the tool rest. All right, try screwing that knob right out. Take it right out.
All right.
Leave the wood in it. Leave the wood in it. Leave the wood in it.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm having difficulties. I've never had this difficulty before. I don't understand. Oh,
Right. Is it turning round or not? Can you turn it with the handle or not?
no. And
Sandy, undo the bit of wood and
Undo the what?
put a tailstock center in it, please, not a drive.
what?
Put a tailstock center in it, not a drive. You've got
Okay. That might be it.
you've
so
got a drive. You
I
have
had-
a drive, Sandy, just wait a minute. You have a drive center in your tailstock. Take it out.
Okay.
That's why it's not turning.
Oh. Okay, okay, so when I went to Ron Campbell, I brought my tools and I brought my knockout bar with me. And now I can't.
The tailstock center should self-eject. Just wind the handle back.
Just,
Tailstock, not headstock.
oh, tailstock, okay.
Lock your tailstock down onto the bed so that it doesn't wobble around.
Okay, there.
Right,
got this out.
now put a revolving center in it.
Is this one
Give-
okay?
Give me a look. Yes.
Okay,
Right,
That
now put a bit of wood in there.
okay.
Lock your tailstock down.
Okay. Woo!
Tighten the handle. Just your quill handle, the one that, don't tighten that one yet. Don't tighten that lock. Put your tool rest in place where it's supposed to be. Just make sure that bit of wood turns around now, please.
It does.
Whoa, look at that.
So that was, I had the wrong, and it knew it. This is a smart machine. Okay,
Right, now how far away is the tailstock away from the timber?
a
Right.
finger.
I've just got to go and turn the heater off. Wait on.
Okay, now how am I doing? Okay,
Right. Now, can that bit of wood rotate clearly?
yeah, it's tight.
Right. I think your tool, that's going backwards.
I want to go. How's
That's
that?
going backwards.
Oh,
I reckon that's going backwards.
how's
That looks
that?
better. Right. Right, drop. Yeah, switch the light off.
My
It's actually one thing I don't like about the Laguna is their bloody tool rest locks. Drop your handle a little bit, Sandy. Drop the handle a little bit. Right.
Is my tool rest too high?
Yeah, your tool rest is actually too high.
Sorry, you guys.
Now, feel the difference and hear the difference? It's actually cutting now, not scraping. Right, work your way all the way along. No, don't, just keep working an inch towards the end until you get up to the other end and then take the other end off.
What? Do the other end?
Keep working towards the tailstock an inch at a time until you get up to the headstock and then go towards the headstock. Drop your handle a little bit, you're lifting it up again. Move your fingers on your left hand right up to the tool rest.
Huh? What?
Move the fingers on your left hand that are holding the blade of the chisel right up to the tool rest. That is why they're shaped like that. So you've got a guide. Right, now, has it got, is it round?
Not totally.
Okay, just get it down around. Okay, is it getting close now, is it?
Yeah.
Rightio, good.
Okay.
Rightio, Jeff would like to put me up on
Okay.
full screen, please.
There you go.
Right. Now, again, for safety reasons, move your tool rest in a bit. I can't move this one in because it's locked in position. But what you want is about just a fraction, about a finger width away. If you get it too close, because of the action of the chisel, it's very hard sometimes to maneuver the chisel around. So I tend to keep it about a finger width away, particularly when we're rolling beads and things like that. So bring your tool rest into the right place. The next cut we're going to make is called a planing cut. Now, with the lathe switched off, I'll just give them a big one again. Set it up high like that. Slide it back until the heel of the bevel just sits against the timber basically, and then you lift and twist the handle to bring the cutting edge into contact with the timber. So it's like the old Playtex ad, lift and separate. Just practice that a couple of times before we turn the lathe on.
Where's our left hand? Is it under?
Sorry,
The left hand, is it under?
you can either use an overhand or an underhand grip, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm funny, when I turn with my left hand, I generally use an overhand grip on my right hand to hold it. If I turn with my right hand, I generally use an underhand grip. So it's just what you get comfortable with.
So where's the tool rest in relationship?
Right,
Is
the
it
tool
right-
rest should be sitting just about right on center line.
Okay, mine's a little low.
Remember last time during the demonstration, I said normally a gouge cuts here, just above the center line. The skew chisel likes working up in there on the top quadrant. So it should be running along there.
That's 11 o'clock. If that were a clock face, you're right in
Yep,
across
that's right.
at 11 o'clock.
Yep. And gouges and that like running about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So before you turn the lathe on now, I'll just get you to have a look at the screen. How you going there, Sandy?
Okay,
Rightio, have a look at the screen. Without turning the lathe on, bring the chisel down and just take a slight scrape off like that, okay? Now the angle down here, its optimum cutting edge is 45, but it will cut pretty well anywhere. So set it at 45 and just take a very slight shaving off in the bottom half of the chisel down in here.
without it running?
Without it running. This is wood turning 101.
It's getting dust off.
Right?
Could my chisel, like, oh, how can I get this? Okay, is the bevel too short? Seems too short.
Which one are you using? The round one?
It's
The
a
radius
hurricane.
one? The radius one, the curved one?
Yeah,
No, it's about right.
it's about right.
Yeah. Just put it up to the camera for a minute, please. Right, now wait on, I'm just gonna feel whether it's sharp enough, all right? Oh yeah, it feels pretty good. You can't cut timber with blunt tools. Okay, right, now start the lathe up. Let it build up to speed. Check your tailstock again to make sure it's still tight. Make sure you undo the lock first. So, there's A, B, C. It is anchor, bevel. Slide the tool back until the bevel comes in. And then cut. Now you must maintain that angle the whole length. If your angle down here is that angle there, it must be the same up there as down here. If you start creeping up the bevel like this, you'll get a catch. How am I going so far, Kate?
Huh? Pardon
Good.
me?
Good, doing well. Yeah. It's going great.
Because I know that Kate gives lessons on the Skew as well.
I'm just setting up my camera here.
Right. Now, what I'll get you to do, please, Jeff, is highlight you first so as I can see the cut. Oh, we got split screen. Now I want to see the piece of timber you're working on, not your face. Put it on the overhead camera.
I didn't do that. I don't. That must have been Matt. Matt, I have
Oh.
one called Jeff's Overhead, and that's my.
Oh, let me find it. Let me find it. Hang on. Yeah, I spotlighted you. There's an
Oh,
overhead
sorry.
for you,
All
huh?
right. Now that I know that.
Robo?
Just wait a minute, Sandra. Now that
Okay.
I know that, now that I know Matt is a host, I'll direct everything to Matt.
I'm stuck, am I? Jeff's overhead. There it is. Play spotlight. There we go.
Rightio, thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, let's see you doing planing cut, please, Jeff.
Here we are.
Move your body with it, Jeff. It should be virtually a rigid triangle between your left hand, your right hand, and your hip.
I couldn't hear you. What was that?
Right. It should be a rigid triangle between your left hand, your right hand, and your hip. All your movement comes from the waist down to maintain the angle down the length of the timber.
Right. Was I not
If you
doing
get
that?
unbalanced, just stop, take a step to the left or the right to get back into balance again.
Okay.
Call this the Woodturner's dance.
Yeah, the lay tango, I call it.
The
Right.
late tango. I love that. I'm going to use that from now on. That's great, Rocco.
Do a little dance.
You
Make a
only
little
steal
love.
from the best.
Sorry.
The lathe tango. I'm writing that down so I don't forget it.
Well, if you've ever danced a tango, it's a staccato dance. And when you're doing spindle work, it's a staccato movement. That's looking good, Jeff.
Yeah.
Move your body. Move your body. Shake your booty, baby.
Oh, there you go. Look at that one. Yeah, one of the things I do when I'm making these cuts is I widen my stance so I can cover the whole thing with just, moving from the hips and the knees only.
Yeah, I actually have because I turn long stuff, I actually face down the work and walk down the work rather than just standing side onto it. All right, Matt,
So how
if you
was
could
that?
put, that was
makes
excellent.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now you should have a fairly good finish on that, do you, Jeff?
I do. Other than a
Right.
couple lines where I stopped, it's nice.
Yeah,
smooth finish.
that's all right. Right, can you highlight Sandy, please?
All right.
Rightio, Sandy, your
Oh,
turn.
am I unmuted?
You
Yes.
are. Now you've got to move your hand up to the rest. Now, in that overhand hold or overhand grip, the heel at the palm of your hand should be sitting on the rest as a guide. That's it. Perfect. Rightio, beautiful. Move your body with it. It should be locked. Don't quite know how to say this. Lock it against your boob.
My wife is wondering what we're watching.
My wife calls it wood porn.
Australian style.
All right, stop there, Sandy, or you're going to run off. Stop there, or you're going to run off the end of the rest.
Okay,
Now, how does a finish look and feel?
not good.
Right. All right. Have another shot.
So my handle seems to be coming up quite high. Is my tool rest at the right level?
No, I'll drop the tool rest down a little bit, just a fraction.
Like that much?
That's about it. Yeah, about there. That looks pretty good. Unfortunately, with one camera, it's very hard to get the angle.
How
Right.
fast is my speed supposed to be?
It's irrespective. Like I'd probably be turning that about 1500 or so.
Oh, I'm right around 600.
Oh, well, up you go. Put it
Oh,
on
my
about, right.
It's at 13 right now. How's that?
That'll do. Now, remember what I said to,
Oh, I
Right.
gotta do. What
Remember
did
what
I
I-
do wrong?
yeah, you got to catch. Right. Now,
Yeah.
remember what I said to Jeff, that it's a locked triangle between your left hand, your right hand, and your body. So you've got your left elbow locked into your body, your right hand locked against your body, and the left hand locked onto the chisel, and the whole lot moves as a unit from your hips down. Just move. Never leave the chisel sitting on the rest when you start the lathe. Always remove it. Rightio. Have another crack. Now you've got to be operating in the bottom half of that chisel, okay? Move your body. I can see some shavings coming off there, so that's pretty good. All right, right. Take the chisel away, turn the lathe off and have a look at it. Now is the finish starting to get very good? Yep, rightio. Okay, now, Matt, can you just highlight me again, please? Right. Now we're working in the bottom half of the chisel down here, like if it's going that way, down in there, never up here, because as Sandy showed us very well, you get a catch. So the next thing we're going to do now is V cuts. Now V cuts are done with the extreme long point. This is the long point, that's the short point. Oops, sorry, taking it out of camera. Ah, see my dirty finger.
Pull it back away from the camera, Robbie.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
Okay, that's the long point, that's the short point. Sometimes called a toe and a heel, but I always call them the long and the short points because you can get confused with the heel on the bevel if you're not careful when you're instructing people. So the long point is the only part used in a V cut, and it rides on the bevel behind there on the shoulder, what's called the shoulder. So it is put into the timber so that only the point contacts it. If you do this, if you lift the handle up too high and you try cutting under the point, it will skip along. It won't. So you've got to make the first mark with a long point, and all you got to do is just lift the handle a little bit and put a mark in it. Now to deepen it, you just come to one side and push it in again and again. Now some people like to twist the chisel a little bit when they do it. I don't. I always just use the side bevel and it pushes it down into their 45 degrees. Now, if that point is the slightest bit blunt, it will skip sideways. So it is very important that that long point is sharp, sharp. So we'll try that. Just have a couple of practice shots at it. Remember, long point in, just move about 1 millimeter. Sorry, 32nd of an inch to the left or the right, and just rock it in there, and it will follow the thing down and leave a nice clean edge. Right, if you'd like to highlight Jeff again, please, Matt.
Jeff
Other
is now
camera.
highlighted.
Other camera. Jeff's overhead you're looking for.
Oh, the overhead. So you didn't tell
Yeah.
me
Oh, I'm sorry.
that.
I'm a lousy director, am I?
There we go. All set.
That's it.
His skew is short like mine.
Sorry.
His skew is short like mine is.
What, blunt? Sorry.
Nah, short. Like it's, you've got a long one. His is shorter.
Yeah. No, it works better with a longer one than it does with a shorter one. Because
That's
it's
Okay,
short.
Robbo.
Yep.
That was looking pretty good. Now, you know, when you've got a good cut, wait on, just highlight me again, please, Matt.
All right. Where are you? You're here.
See if I can get one. No, I'm not going to do it on this stuff.
What kind of wood is that, Robbo?
What you're looking for, if you get a perfect cut, you actually get a ring off. It flicks off. This pine's a bit too dense for it, but you get a nice little curve thing, like as if you cut your fingernail. Rightio.
Hey, Ian, you might be able to get one of those if you try it right on the end.
Yeah. Doesn't matter anyway.
Right.
Sandra now, please.
Yes,
Rightio. Can you
Okay.
highlight Sandra, please, Matt?
I'm gonna.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if I can show you. Can, whoop, whoop. I'm trying to show you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Can you, yeah, am I in camera?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
Is it showing what I did?
yeah, it's looking. Not quite. Just move to your right a little bit, I think, so I can see the V cuts. Right, now I want to see you do one, please. Set
Okay.
your camera up and
Okay.
right now widen it out, Sandra.
Huh?
Widen it out.
Widen it out?
Yeah. You got to move a little bit to the side. So they're about 1/4 of an inch wide, all right? You can do the same too, please, Jeff. Now, this is actually the disadvantage of a curved skew chisel. You cannot see the point. Whereas with a traditional grind, you can see the point across it.
I don't know. Okay, let's see.
Drop the camera down a bit more. Move it to your, that's it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Excellent, Sandra. Good, beautiful. Rightio. Now, just highlight me again, please, Matt.
There you go, Robbo.
Up.
Look at those shavings. Mm.
Wow.
Right. Now what we're going to do is put a mark in about every 20 millimeters. Now, whenever you're using a pencil or calipers or anything, or dividers, always make sure that the pencil faces downhill, not uphill into the work. I had a friend that had those Stadler propeller pencils, and he put a pencil in like that to mark a line, hit a knot, and 7 hours of surgery to repair the nerve damage in the middle of his hand. So you can measure them exactly, if you like, about 20 mil. Put about 4 or 5 down there, all right? So do that next.
How big is 20 mil?
All right.
3/4
sorry.
of an inch. 3/4
Sorry,
of an
3/4 of an inch for you Americans over there. We should get bloody with it, I tell you.
We are with it. It's you guys who have adopted the newfangled stuff that, you know, is so confusing.
Well, I'm sorry,
How
Matt.
many?
99% of the bloody world is metric.
And it doesn't make right.
I think metric, Jeff, might be a little more accurate.
Measurements are as accurate as the number of places you're willing to take them out to.
So how many lines do we want?
About 5.
Okay.
3/4 of an inch apart.
Yeah, Robbo, I know that metric makes more sense, but I'm a hidebound guy, invested in the past.
Unfortunately, I do a lot of restoration work. And up until 1985, we were all imperial. Sorry, 1965. And all the old houses, of course, are all in inches. So I've actually got to measure things. Sometimes I have to measure them right. It's 8 foot, 7 inches, and 3 millimeters.
And 3 millimeters is about 1/8 of an inch.
That's dead right. Yep. Look, I'm doing some random posts at the moment. They are 8 feet because I came off an old house. 2.4 just isn't long enough, so I had to buy a 2.7 and cut it back to the 8 feet. Otherwise, they won't fit. Right, how are we going, folks?
At least we're not still measuring things in furlongs
Sorry?
per fortnight. At least we're
I
not
got my
measuring
line
things
set
in
up.
furlongs. Sorry.
Right.
I'll set up.
Oh, we got another person in there turning, have we?
Yeah, that's Jeff. Well, Cade's turning, but we don't need to supervise him. We'll see how Jeff is doing.
Yeah, he's got his lines marked. Oh, you started with a chisel or just a pencil, Jeff? Pencil? Just give us a thumbs up if it's
Just a pencil.
Rightio. Sandra, how are you going?
I got pencil marks.
Rightio. All right, just highlight me again, please, Matt.
All set, Robo.
Rightio, thank you. Now, what we're going to do is make a series of V-cuts in these, about 1/4 of an inch wide. So we'll require about 3 cuts, the centre one, and then 1 off on each side. Just widen them out until you get them right. Right, can you just give me Jeff for a minute, please, Matt?
Yep, all set.
Yeah, keep going. There you go, Jeff.
Okay.
I'll switch between you and Sandra now.
What's that?
It's all right, don't worry about it.
Won't let me go there. Okay.
Just be careful how high you lift that handle, Jeff.
What's that?
Yeah, Jeff, what he's saying is don't lift your handles quite so high.
Yeah, it's virtually just slide it in.
It's
Right
just a
out.
very slight lift.
The reason you don't lift the handle too high is that you can induce a catch.
What's that?
I said you don't lift the handle too high when you're doing them because you can induce a catch.
Is my handle too high?
Just put me back on Sandra again, please, Matt. No, you look like you're going pretty well there, Sandy. Good.
It's good.
Look like you're going well. Right, got them all done?
Yeah.
Yep.
Rightio. Back on me again for a minute, please, Matt. I'll just wrong way. All right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, no, I can't. Just wait a second. Rightio. Now, an easy way we're going to do beads now. An easy way is mark the center line, just guess it, and come 1/3 of the way out. Now, the reason for that is that if you look at a hemisphere, get it down here, the poles on it up here, I'll move the camera back a bit, the poles are nearly flat. So it doesn't matter if you leave a little flat section on the top here like this. Now you're just going to be using the short point and you take that corner off first. Just put a bit of a chamfer on it. Then come back to your line and just using the short point, roll over. I hope the camera's getting that all right.
So you're actually putting the short point into the wood.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's riding on the shoulder or the bevel just behind the short point.
Okay.
And
That-
you've got to
that
curve the chisel around.
That looks really good, Ian. We can see it well.
And you should leave the pencil mark there because it doesn't matter, because as soon as you get a piece of sandpaper, you're going to take this corner off there. And that will give you the curvature on the bead. I'll just move this camera around so you can see it properly.
Okay.
See how you get the curve on it?
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Now, you are bound to have catches. So do not worry. Don't throw the tool across the room, or worse still, don't have a heart attack. Now, what you've got to watch is as you come over here, you've got to keep that bevel in contact. I'll come in this way. You've got to keep that bevel in contact the whole way. If you lift the bevel off, bevel is king with the skew chisel. It's the only thing that's got control. If you lift it up too hard, it'll skip back like that. So it's a nice, slow, even cut. The next place you'll get a catch is when you get down to about here, you'll bring the chisel over too far and again lift it off the bevel. The next place you'll get a catch is if you go down into the valley there and you catch the one next to it. So as soon as you have finished that cut, remove the chisel straight away. I don't know how many times I've seen people say, particularly in a group, "Oh, Fred, come and have a look at this. Jesus, have a look at this bead I just did. Oh, wow." So always take the chisel. When you have completed a cut, remove the chisel.
Okay.
Okay, kiddies, away we go. Right, Matt, just put Jeff up first, please.
Okay, give me a second. There you go.
Right.
You're on,
Okay,
Jeff.
Jeff. Now, have you marked it with a pencil to make it easy?
Oh. There we go.
Ha ha, catch.
Yep, he caught in the first one too.
Don't worry, I got my mitt on. Just roll the chisel, Jeff. Don't try and slide it. Now, one side will be better than the other because of the way your hands work and your brain works. You'll get an uneven curve probably on both sides. So nothing to be worried about. It only comes with practice. Right, can you just put Sandra up, please, Matt? And when you finish the cut, Jeff, always take the chisel away to start the next one. Don't slide along it.
Looks like she's starting too steep.
Just roll the chisel over, Sandy. That's it. Right, now take the chisel away. Do the next, the other side. That's it. Oh, I hear groans of anguish in the background there somewhere.
You did not hear that, did you?
Yep.
It had to be Jeff. Everybody else is muted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, make sure you got the bevel rubbing, Sandy, that's all.
What?
Make sure your bevel is rubbing behind the short point, okay?
Okay.
Right, would you like to move your camera, please, Sandy, so that I can have a look, please?
Okay. Should I shut? I'll shut the. Wait, let's see if I can. Oh, wait a minute. My Zoom went away. Oh, there it is. Okay. Do I have you back?
Right.
My.
You're not going too bad, actually. That's good. That's pretty good for your first couple.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Jay will tell you that if you make a mistake, I'll soon tell you. Right. Okay, finish them off. Do the complete 5 of them now.
Oh, all right.
We'll go see what Cade's up to.
Yeah.
He's making one of those drink mixing thingies. What do you call that, Cade?
They're called an Irish spatula, Scottish spatula they are.
Except he's doing it with the tip, not the heel. Interesting.
Sorry, Matt, can you move a bit closer to the mic, please?
I'm sorry. I said that he's doing it with the tip of the skew, not the heel. What do you
Yeah.
call that, Cade?
Oh, hi everyone. I didn't know I was spotlighted.
Yeah, we stealthily spotlighted you. What do you call what you're making?
Just having to play with the skew. Doing
Yeah.
could be a spurtle, but I'm gonna taper it to a point for a throwing spike or a throwing dart.
Spurtle, that's what I was trying to think
Yeah.
of.
Yep.
I couldn't
There you
remember
go.
the name.
Yep.
Live camera.
So it's good practice.
Yep.
Good fun.
Hey, Robbo, is this mic better?
Yeah, thank
Let
you.
me see. I'll
I haven't-
continue.
I have trouble hearing, and if you get a bit of an echo, I'm really buggered.
Do a few more cuts here.
Right, when you've got all those 5 done, Jeff and Sandra, let me
Yes.
know.
I've got mine done. They're ugly, but they're
That's all right.
done.
That's
I
all
got a
right.
lot of practice ahead of me.
Oh, we've had a couple of catches there too, I see.
Yes, I did.
Oh, very good.
Does that look better?
Yeah. Now, Sandra,
Luckily, I had a mask on, so you couldn't hear me say what I said.
I heard.
Oh, shit.
How you going there, Sandra?
Um, Working at it.
Why are you using the long point?
Because my inside got messy.
All right. Yeah. Now that's no pun intended. That is a good point. If you find out that you've got a little bit of stuff down in the bottom, wait on. I might just get you to put me back up again, please, Matt.
Moving. Let's see, you're here. There you go.
Right.
Those are spectacular catches.
Now, see down in the bottom there, you get, I'll see if I can move the camera around a little bit more. See down in here, occasionally you'll get stuff in there where you can't, where they don't meet. So all you do is you use the long point and you trace down the corner here and clean it up. Don't try and use the short point because it will not fit in there, but the long point always will. And you should end up with a nice clean join between the two beads. Not like this one here. So clean them up, make sure they're right. And sing out when you're ready.
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Robbo, I'm catching. I wasn't catching before, but now I'm catching. What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. Put Sandra up and give me a look, please, Matt.
There you go.
You haven't got the chisel vertical.
Oh,
Get the chisel up vertical and use the long point.
no.
To clean.
No, I'm trying to round the bead like you said with the short point.
Yeah, all right. What? I thought you'd done all the beads.
No, I didn't. I got one more. I got 1.5 to go.
Rightio, we'll finish them off first.
I'm catching. What am I doing wrong?
You're not bringing the chisel over far enough. You're keeping it too flat. Now you're starting too high. You've got to lay the chisel down a little bit to get the short point to cut into the timber and then start lifting it up, twisting it so that you get a curve.
Okay.
Oh.
Right, how'd you go, Sandra?
Almost.
Okay.
Okay, what I found is that if I watch the ghost, it's better.
Sorry,
If I watch the ghost, it's better.
watch the,
On top,
yep. Well, that's where you should be looking. You never look at the chisel
oh,
once you started the cut anyway.
so earlier, that catch that I had, it's dippled in on the top of one of
Right.
the beads.
That's all right. You're going to get a lot more catches before you finish.
Okay, so here,
We don't have any
Right.
video on Sandra.
okay.
Oh, there we go.
Am I in view?
Yeah. Just a little bit to your left towards the headstock. For a first effort, Sandra, that's not bad.
Okay. Woo!
And you got to remember too that doing it over Zoom is hard because I can't move the chisel for you to show you exactly. So, rightio. Now, next thing we're going to do is get about a 1/2 inch spindle gouge if you've got one.
Yeah.
This is what I've got. If you want to highlight my overhead, it's about, I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch or 3/8.
It doesn't matter, 3/8, 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Rightio. Yeah, that's good, Sandra. Right. Jeff? Yep. Right. Okay. Just highlight me, please, Matt.
I'm sorry, highlight you, Robbo?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, there you go.
Right. Now, all right, I'll just finish off these beads, won't I? Now, production turners actually turn beads differently than the way I showed you. We actually cut. We start right at the top and go right down.
Without the catches, I'm assuming.
Without the catches, yeah, normally.
Sorry,
I'm
had to give you
That's
grief
all right.
about that.
Right. Now with your spindle gouge, what we're going to do is make them into cotton reels. So we're going to put a cove in the middle of them. They don't have to be real fancy. Remember not to cut uphill, don't come up to the top like that. Always work in downhill towards the center. Get rid of the waste first so you've got room for the chisel to move. All right, get that done. You can put Jeff up again if you like, please, Matt. Is it possible for you to get Jeff and Sandra on the same screen or not?
Am I?
You can. You just have to spotlight them both at the same time.
That's better. Good. Oh, I feel
Yep,
like
all set. Thanks, Cade.
I feel like a voyeur.
Yeah, we could put Cade up there too and not tell him we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You could. I heard that one through my earplugs, so.
I know, it was intentional, dude.
God, I'm the one-eyed purple people eater now, three-eyed.
Those are looking good. from what I can see, Jeff.
Yeah, you're not quite right in your technique, Jeff. I'll correct that in a minute.
I know, but I
Uh-oh.
don't get a skate that way.
Same with you, Sandra. You're not quite right. Just hold on.
Okay.
Just stop for a minute, and I'll
Okay,
get Matt to put me back on highlight again.
I'm not right.
No,
There you go, Robbo.
thank you. Right. Basically, what you're doing is just pushing it in and then waggling it from side to side. It's not actually cutting it.
Oh,
You're actually scraping it like this.
Oh.
Now, the way you do it is that you face the flute the way that you want it to go. Start your cut. Watch the flute here. See how it rolls? It's like Beethoven. There's 3 movements. If you can imagine you're trying to scoop that last strawberry out of the bottom of the yogurt, you know, with your finger, that's the action of the chisel. Now you've got to pinch the chisel between your thumb and your forefinger and lock the knuckle against the tool rest so they can't slide. That's where you'll get a skate back, is where you're wishy-washy about putting the chisel into the work. So you've got to put it in. Once you get that first little bit in there, then you've got bevel support. And you can do it with one hand when you've got that in there. So it's actually slicing it. All right, give that a whirl, folks. Matt, if you'd like to put them both up again, please.
does it matter if you start on the tailstock side or the headstock first?
No, whatever turns you on,
What do you start with?
wherever I feel like it.
Just don't try the one-handed part.
So put the flute at about 45 degrees, Jeff. No, flute. Open the flute out a bit. That's it. Now don't try and start right at the outside edge. Always work in the middle. When you're going that way, the handle actually comes back into your body. So you've got to swing your hips with it to get out of the way. Then going the other way, you swing away from the tool. That's it, like that. But you twist the tool as well so that it ends up flat on its back. You went too far, too quick. Once you get that cut started, you've got to put pressure on it and keep the bevel rubbing. Believe it or not, these coves will help your bowl turning so much, and the skew helps you keep the realization that the bevel's in place. You're moving the handle the wrong way, Jeff. That's better. Good. It's got to be a positive cut. You can't muck about with it. That's not the usual expression I use, but anyway.
Well, mine are different sizes. They're not uniform.
That'll come with practice. Yeah, right. Just leave it like that, Jeff, if you don't bother putting another one in. Or if you like, come up to the tailstock end and try putting a big cove in there.
Oh.
Start in the center. Twist and pull the chisel towards you. Right, now go to the other side. Face the bevel towards you or towards the direction of the cut. Get the nose of the chisel just touching and get a slight nick in there. Now I'm guessing that you're right-handed, Jeff. Get it started. Now push away from you. Once you get the cut started, move the chisel away from your body when you're going to doing the right-hand side of the cove. Look at that. See? Piece of cake. All right, just leave it at that. Now, you're right, are you, Sandra?
Want to see mine?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, I always want to see yours, Sandra.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. You might, I don't know which one is my picture.
Your camera's looking up your nose.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to see.
No,
Do I have it?
no, down a
Now
bit.
we see your tools.
Oh,
Down, right now towards the headstock.
And all
And
we
just-
see is your tailstock.
Yeah, right. No, just, yeah, too much light behind it, unfortunately. But yeah, looking, that's better. Good. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad, Sandra. That's very good. Right. What I can see down the bottom of the picture.
oh,
Just drop your camera a little bit. That's it. Good. Yeah, fantastic. Right. Now the next thing we're going to do is rub it all out. So if you can put me up, please, Matt.
I don't want to rub it all out.
Oh, don't worry.
Can I
Yeah,
put
but-
a different piece of wood in?
You get to start all over again.
I don't
No.
want to.
Rightio. Now this
You're
is
on,
called a,
you're,
go on, Matt.
I was going to say you're on, Ian.
Rightio, thank you. Don't call me Ian. It's only my wife and my mother that call me that.
You told me that last time.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, they're the only two people I know that can put 3 syllables into it too. Ian! Rightio. Now this is a peeling cut and it's done with just, don't try it with the whole width of the chisel. Just do it a half at a time. Now, I'll have to do it this way. What you're doing is you are sitting the bevel against the thing and it's peeling over, the wood is peeling over the top. Not straight in like that, but like that. And this is what you should get. Now you're just going to take it down to the bottom of the coves, all right? Not through the whole thing. Now see how the chisel rocks? All right, put them up again, please, Matt.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Yep, no worries. Now this is where you do have a bit of a disadvantage with a radius skew chisel, okay? You can drop your tool rest down a little bit too if you like. Makes it a bit easier. That's it. Good, Jeff. No, you're just doing a peeling cut. You got to start down very low, Sandra.
Start
And then
low.
start low, get the bevel rubbing, and then just lift the handle up. No, sit it flat on the rest. Sit the chisel flat down on the rest.
Flat.
Yeah, don't move it sideways. You just sit it flat on the rest and peel the stuff over the top of it. See what Jeff's doing?
Oh, we're supposed to be on with the spindle gouge?
No, no.
What
Skew
are
chisel.
we? The what?
Skew chisel.
Okay.
Don't move it sideways, just lift the handle up. And take the tops off the coves, all right? Move along. No, don't slide it. Move it along to the next one and do exactly the same thing. Don't slide it. Don't slide it. Lift and put place. That's better. Good.
Keep touching.
This is actually how I cut my dovetails for my chucks.
Yeah. Well, that's the same principle.
Yeah.
Right, do all of them, Sandra.
Huh?
Do all of them. Right, you got it down just about flat again, Sandra?
Yeah.
Rightio.
Okay.
Rightio. Well, we're just about drawing toward the end of the basic cuts with the skew chisel. There's a few more, like there's the end cut. So if you put me on camera again, please, Matt.
Yep, you're all set.
Right, thank you. Now to trim the end of a bit of timber, the bevel that's sitting against the timber is a guiding thing. If you sit the bevel out at an angle, you'll cut in like that. If you get it over here and just hold it straight, you're going to form a taper towards the outside. So the bevel has to be at right angles, and it's virtually got no weight. You are just gliding the bevel and cutting the end off. If you put too much weight on the bevel, you'll end up with a little pattern across the end. And as you can see, you're just cutting with the extreme point. Like so. So give that a try.
All right.
both of them up again, please, Matt.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, should have shown how clean that cut was, but it doesn't matter.
Clean cuts are fun to see.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, put your handle across the right-hand side. You're going to end up with a taper otherwise. You're actually facing the left-hand bevel of the skew chisel, the direction you want the cut to go. So in order to be at right angles, the chisel should be out to the right-hand side somewhere at an angle to the rest, or an angle to the lathe. And that angle is dictated by the angle of your bevel.
I'm not getting anywhere.
Neither.
Now, using the short point, always use the long point.
I'm,
Long
am I
point,
supposed- which point?
long point.
Long point.
Whenever you're making a plunge cut, you always use the long point. Transverse cuts, you use the short point leading.
What kind of cuts?
Doesn't matter, don't worry about it.
Is that better?
Yeah. All right, that's looking good, Jeff. Good.
My end is kind of tapered.
Yeah, that's because you haven't got the chisel handle around far enough.
Okay.
The pressure on the bevel that's up against the end of the timber is like an angel's kiss. It's got no weight or anything on it. It is just sitting there and that's it.
So am I supposed to be like straight in or at an
No,
angle?
you should be. The chisel handle doing the tailstock end should be about 3 or 4 inches across on an angle, all right? Like that, yeah. So you're guiding that bevel where you made your V cuts. You're guiding the left-hand bevel straight down the end of the timber. That's it. Now you should end up with a nice clean surface down there, Sandra.
Say what?
You should end up with a nice clean surface. Just turn the lathe off and have a look. Don't put your fingers in there until it stops.
Okay. Yeah, it seems very nice and clean.
Okay. How'd you go, Jeff? Nice and clean?
Yep.
Beautiful. Rightio. All right. Now you can cut coves with a skew chisel, but a spindle gouge does it much better. I'll show you just for the sake of showing you, and you can practice it if you want to. Rightio, Matt.
Way ahead of you, bro.
Good to have a good cameraman on the job. I'll increase your pay, I'll double it for you. Again, you use just a short point and put a nick in and you twist it. And there's your cove.
No, baby, get down. Baby.
No, I
Run.
can't. Sorry. I can't turn sitting down.
Robbo, I accidentally muted you. Can you unmute yourself, please, sir? There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, bro.
That's all right. Did you get the explanation or not?
Now you better back up about 2 minutes.
Okay, rightio. Way that they're done, use a short point, get your line started, and you twist the chisel. Up a little bit in there, and there's the coves. Like I say, it's much easier with a spindle gouge. Okay, you want to have a go at that, you two?
I'll give it a try. I don't guarantee pretty.
Oh, I need some entertainment.
Well, it's more of a V, but I get the gist of it.
Yeah, you've got to twist the chisel as you're going down. You've got to be careful you don't hit the back edge of the cove as you're going.
Okay. Oh.
How you going there, Sandra? I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Unmute. Okay, I'll show you.
Yep.
I did 2 of them. Whoop, oh, sorry. Is that a good view?
No, move it round to the front. Right. Down a bit and take your thumb out of the way. Down, 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 down. Now towards the headstock. Oh, that's pretty damn good.
Really?
Yeah, really. And I can see a shaving hanging off the tool rest. That's even better. No dust.
Yeah, I was getting shavings. They were fun. And so then I was looking at the shavings and I forgot to look at what I was doing.
I don't know, you bloody women, you get distracted so easily.
I know.
All right.
That is fun. Thank you.
Now, there's one cut that the Skew chisel really, really excels at. And it's for doing a sweep or like an OG, and I'll do one of those. So just put me up there, please.
You're good.
Right. I'll just get these out of the way. Now these are quite common on chair legs and things like that. So start off with a V-cut like this. Trying to dodge around cameras and things. Get rid of your waist down here. Round over the top. Now, like I said before, this is like Beethoven as well. It's 3 movements. So you come down over the top.
Ooh, thing of beauty, man. Look at that.
Wow.
Occasionally, you'll get little ripples down here, little marks. And it's off the back. It's actually off this back corner of the shoulder here, where it's rubbing into the timber. I'll just put them in there. I don't know if they'll come up on camera or not, does it?
No.
Yeah, it has sort of. Now,
Yeah.
the reason for that is that this shoulder on the underside here is digging into the timber behind the cut. There's a very easy way to fix that. What you do is that when you're sharpening the tool, see the little nick I put across here? You polish that out. Just take that corner right off. So that you've got a nice little round corner in there, and it just flows down over the top of it then.
I love it. That's so cool. That's a great tip. Thank you.
All right. Now, except for one little line in it. You can see the finish on it. Wrong way.
Wow.
Like that would clean up with 320 grit sandpaper. The problem is, in my job, we actually have to sand them back to 180 so that the stains and the finishes can key into the timber, because stains will not penetrate it and they fall off and people get angry.
Can you would turn like a foot, an animal foot for a leg for furniture?
What, you mean like a cabriole leg?
Yeah, those are done off center. You change
Yeah,
the
they're
center
not-
a bit.
Yeah, they're not really a cabriole leg. They're called a club foot. But because a true cabriole leg is actually carved at the top, at the knee and everything. But, right. Now, this is your practice pieces, all right?
Okay.
I'll work at normal speed now. This is what I do whenever I do a demonstration at a club on a strange lathe or something like that, or if I've been away, haven't been turning for a while, because there's a couple of parts to my business and I might not turn for a month or a few weeks. This is a practice piece I do as soon as I walk into the workshop. So I'll start right from the beginning. I just whack a square piece of timber in, rough it down, around, get my skew chisel, V-cut, and just for the sake of it, I use an inch measurements, And because my chisel's an inch wide, I just put a mark in every inch. Put the V cuts in. Every second one is a bead with the skew chisel. Then I do a bead with the spindle gouge. Then a cove with a spindle gouge. Another cove.
Wow,
Nice.
And that's
beautiful.
my
I
That's
wish
my
my
practice.
practice looked like that.
That's just a warm up before you work.
Yeah, that's my hand warm up.
Yeah, and that makes good sense too, because you know, no matter how good you are and how much you've done it, I mean, you look at dancers and stuff; they're all warming up ahead of time.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of different businesses are warming up ahead of time. People who do speeches will do speeches in the mirror.
Or when you play an instrument.
Yep. When I used to do magic in front of a mirror where I was watching it from the audience point of view.
So I must admit, I do not laugh, people, but I hold a gold medal for ballroom dancing. And
Nothing wrong with that.
I used to teach ballroom dancing. And we were so glad when video cameras became so cheap, because we didn't have to use mirrors. We could actually video our dancers and tell them and show them where they were going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
When
How
we're
fun
training.
is that?
There's nothing wrong with ballroom dancing. Just don't tell my wife that.
I haven't done it for a number of years. My knees can't do it anymore, and I get bad vertigo. So,
Oh, well, that's my excuse. Bad knees.
but just to give you an idea, wait on, I'll lift this camera off. What I've shown you is, wait on, this is going to present a problem. Everything that I've shown you today gives you a combination of veranda posts or any spindle turning. See the veranda post over the end there?
Yes.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
That's all a combination of just beads and coves. That's all it is.
Beautiful.
So they are the basis of all turning. Even bowl turning, when you start looking at it, bowls are really only a big bead with a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you would like to see, or anybody else in the audience that would like to see something specific? Or
I think I've got more than enough to work on.
Well, could we do this? If this is a request, I know your time is precious. You may not have time for this, Robbo, but could we revisit this after a little while? Maybe give us a month and then a practice, and then maybe do it again.
didn't I tell you, Sandra, at the beginning? There's a written exam on this.
Oh no.
I will certainly do it.
Thank you.
We can set up a special workshop just to review spindle turning.
Yeah, hey guys, isn't this being recorded, folks? I mean, this is going to be
Yes,
up
this
on
is
our.
being recorded. I will
So-
hopefully have it up in the next 2 days.
Well, yeah, but when you're actually working with someone telling you, nope, hold it this way, raise it up, it helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I do something on my own, it's like, what went wrong? I don't understand.
Yeah. No, I have no problems with having another workshop on it. I mean, we're a club for learning. That's what it boils down to. And
Okay.
everybody learns at different paces. So, and I know I got a lot of work ahead of me.
That was so fun, Robbo. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay. Well, Robbo, I also want to say thank you very much for this excellent workshop. You are par none phenomenal, and I really enjoy working with you and watching you work. Matt, I want to thank you for hopping in and taking care of the camera work so I could concentrate on my spinning.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yep.
You're very welcome. Happy
Good
to
job.
help.
I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And if you weren't in your shop for this, get into your shop and start practicing this. I want to see stuff on Facebook of what you're doing. And ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Well, I have a question for Robbo.
Okay.
You have your chisel, your skew is not curved like mine is curved.
No,
So is there a reason that you prefer that?
yeah, it's the sort of work I do. You have to know the history of this curved skew and how it came into being to understand why it came that way.
Well, for novices, I think.
No. Richard Raffin.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Bingo.
is credited with this curved skew. Now, I know Richard fairly well. We attend a lot of things together. And I asked him why it ended up curved. And he said, well, one of his jobs was making something in Norway or something like that in Europe there. And they used to use a jam chuck, like it's a steel tube that you force the timber in. You've probably seen Japanese turners do it.
Yeah.
A lot of the Austrian turners also do the same thing. Now, he could not get a square like a normal straight across grind up to the chuck. So he curved the end so that he could get right up into that corner. And that was the reason it came into being. It was to save a couple of seconds on every job he did. And when you're getting paid by piece, every second counts. And that was the reason that it was made like that. But somebody saw it at a seminar, probably Utah or somewhere like that. Oh, look, Richard Raffin's got a curved skew. And this is one thing that I've been very wary of when I've been doing demonstrations, that a demonstrator can influence so many people. And if it's the wrong influence, you can get into a lot of trouble. And this is where a lot of myths of wood turning come in, where this chisel is called XYZ, when in actual fact, they've forgotten what the real name of it is, but suddenly you've got 2,000 people, it's called an XYZ chisel. And it's just bad luck. But no, I don't like the curved skew because I do all our marking out with the point of the skew. I do V-cuts to the depths I want. I don't use a parting tool because parting tools can leave rough edges on things. And I've got the skew in my hand anyway, so I just do V-cuts and mark it out. With a curved skew, I cannot see the point properly. So that's the only reason I don't use a curved skew. And don't get me started on oval skews because I'm public, and what I got to say about them ain't nice. So
Those skews?
oval skews.
Oval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got one.
I've got one, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It terrifies me.
Yeah, no, they're mongrels to sharpen. And yet some people absolutely love them. So I think it's what you get used to a large extent. And I've been used to a square chisel, or a straight grind rather than a curved one.
Yeah.
I've got both of them, and I use both of them regularly, and I like them both for different things. And I have changed the grind in my skew once every 6 months. So I now my curved skew now has a flat section at the tip.
Yeah, like
At
Alan
the long
Lacer.
point. Yep. So
Yeah.
I
No,
got a little
that's
bit
a
of a flat section and a little bit of a curve, and I did have a much more pronounced curve at one point and decided that was a little too spooky.
Yeah.
And so
Well, it's the same. It's the same as people that sharpen them to 45 degrees, like the actual skew angle to 45. Geez, it's like a knife.
yeah,
It
well,
makes it very hard.
I got one that's even steeper than that I use for doing small finials.
Yeah.
But I only use it for doing small finials, and it is scary. It's like lathe knife
Yeah.
angled. Yeah.
So, but
So yeah,
no,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robbo.
like I do a lot of peeling cuts for tenons and things like that on lamps and stuff like that. And I found that the oval skew just vibrates too much. It's just not strong enough to do it. That's one of the principal reasons. They're hard to sharpen, and quite often we're working 3 or 4 inches off the rest, and they just flutter too much. So we tend to have the rectangular ones. But no, worst thing foisted onto the public, in my opinion. But there's a few chisels like that, unfortunately.
Can we talk about drive centers for a minute?
We can.
Hey guys, I've got to go. Before we get any deeper here, I've got somewhere I've got to be. So thanks again, Robbo, and I will catch you guys all later. Thanks for keeping
Matt.
this all on. Very nice.
Thanks, Matt.
And we got to keep this short because we're 15 minutes past our time frame right now.
Well, real quick, what's the difference between drive centers, live centers? There's another name for another center. What? I know. Like one center moves, one doesn't. But there's other ones out there that are spoken about in videos.
Well, there's steb centers. You've got a steb center. You've got a steb tailstock center, which is the true name for them is a revolving center.
So mine is a steb.
A steb revolving center, yes.
I'm going to highlight my my overhead, and I'm going to show Sandy. See my live center, or this is not a live center. See my drive center here? That's a steb center. It's got the little teeth on it, and it's got the little point that's spring loaded in the center, and that's designed for safety. If you get a catch, it's going to spin in the wood. Okay. The tailstock end of it is the live center, because it's called live because it spins. Okay.
Okay, so basically I want to get a spring loaded. What's the whole name of that?
A steb center, and they come in different sizes.
Yeah, they come in 3/8, 7/8, and 1 1/4 inches.
Yeah. And this is what I use primarily for spindle turning, is a steb center.
Is that a 3/8?
This is a
7/8.
What's that?
7/8, I think it is.
Yeah, I think so. I've had it for so long. Now here's other drive centers. This is the one. This is the more common one that you see. It's got a point in the center. It's got 4 knives to grip into the wood, and that's what I use on logs.
That's called a 4-prong drive center.
4-prong, and this is a 2-prong drive center, which is something relatively new. I've got it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I use the 4-prong more than anything else.
Actually, the two is not all that new.
No,
I've got a very old
so.
one. I primarily use it when I'm dealing with an uneven end on the sloping end on my blank or a bowl.
Yep.
What about the cone one? Like it's a revolving cone?
Revolving cup center, it's called.
Hold on a second.
Revolving what? Cup?
Cup, as in drinking cup.
So here's a cone. This is designed to go onto my live center. Let me get back down to that end of it. That's designed to go onto here. And that's for if you are going into like a hollow form or something that you've dished out and you need some support on it while you work at the other end. This came with this particular live center. This is the one-way live center, which I really like.
Great.
So basically, it's going to go into the end of something and hold it into place.
Yeah, they're made to fit into any hole, like pepper mills.
Yeah. So here's
Comes with a smaller cone too for smaller holes too.
So here's an urn I'm working on, and I actually use this cone in it like this, and that keeps it from vibrating while I do work out here.
You got to be very careful with cone centers that you don't split the timber.
Exactly. You don't crank them in. You just gently bring them in because they're just there to help stop the vibration.
Yeah.
So that's the cones you're seeing.
Okay.
You know, and we could go all day talking about the different available tools and parts and everything because there's an infinite number of them.
Yeah.
The trick is to find the ones that work for you and just stick with those and learn how to use those in different applications. I think that's the big thing. Just like we talked about the oval skew. You don't need an oval skew. You know,
So,
regular skew will do fine for you.
what size skew, what width is the best? Is it, like, I've seen some of them, they look very wide.
Yeah.
And they're doing intricate work.
It's what you get used to using.
Well, my preference is a 1 inch.
Uh-huh.
That's what I do 99% of my work with. I do have a 2-inch one, and I've got a 1/4 inch one. And the hardest one to use a lot is the 1/4 inch one.
Why is that?
Because it's so narrow in its application that it does not tolerate mistakes very well.
Yeah, so your sweet spot for cutting is a lot
an 8 to
narrower
an
than
inch.
you have on a 1 inch or a 1 1/4 inch. So unless you're greatly skilled at controlling that sweet spot, you know, 1/4 inch could be a nightmare.
Yep.
I used to have some micro tools. I bought them because I thought they were pretty cool. And they were such a nightmare to work with and a nightmare to sharpen. I just got rid of them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I can turn a finial with my 2-inch skew chisel if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because it's all tool control. That's all it is.
Yeah. You'll find there's a lot of tools out there that are gimmicks.
Oh.
I think are gimmicks.
Well, the manufacturers have to keep making them to stay in business.
Exactly. You know, they got the bottom line to worry about. Just as you've got the bottom line to worry about. So try not to be taken in by a lot of these specialty things. You know, we're a good forum for if you've got questions about something that you're seeing out there, put it out on Facebook. Get a picture of it, put it out on Facebook and ask the question and see what people have to say about it, because we have a lot of very experienced wood turners who can tell you whether it's worth your time and effort or money or not.
And we have a lot of gadget wood turners who tell you how you should spend your money on all these specialty tools.
Yeah. There's
get
always
down to
somebody
it.
willing to tell you how to spend your money.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Well, listen, gang, we gotta wrap it up. We're almost 30 minutes past the hour.
Sorry, Jeff, just for a second.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to read the chat, but Ian Marin put in here about Sandy's earlier chisels. They're woodworkers skew chisels, not turning chisels, used for cleaning up interior corners. I knew I'd seen them somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. Now, wait on.
I was gonna say that one looked like a woodworker's chisel.
Yeah.
Ground into a skew.
So they're for, the purpose of them is for cleaning up interior corners.
Yes. On flat work.
Yep.
On flat, what's considered flat work?
Like putting chair legs into tables and things like that.
Yep. Making boxes, square boxes, things like that. That's called flat work. Furniture makers are flat work.
Flat workers.
Workers, yep.
You're on an IRD.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me along.
Robbo, thank you very much. Like I said, Your
It's
knowledge
over.
is a wealth, and I
there's
really
one-
appreciate you taking the time, especially with the time difference between our two countries.
Yeah, oh, this is good. It's only midnight, so that's good.
Yeah.
Jeff,
What
do us a
time is it?
favor.
Uh-huh.
Jeff, do us a favor. Take everybody off mute. We have a birthday boy in here today, Mr. Elliot. So
Okay,
I think we should. I think we should sing happy birthday to him. What do you reckon?
Hold on a second. I got to figure out how to get everybody off the mute.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you.
How do I unmute everybody?
I have no idea.
That's
Everybody
We're all-
unmute
We're all
yourself.
done now. It's all
I can
good.
I can
Oh,
see
go.
how to mute, but not how to unmute.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it looks like it's all done.
Okay. Okay,
Rightio.
we're all unmuted.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear Robert.
Robert.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Hip hip.
And 2 or 3,
Right.
5 or 10 more.
Hip hip.
Well, we're not going to be on
Hooray.
television anytime soon, that's for certain.
I can't yell too loud. I'll wake my wife up.
We sing at least as well as we ballroom dance.
That's right.
Yes. Thank goodness I turn better than I sing.
Yeah. Okay, then. Happy birthday, Robert.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Been a great night. Thank you very much.
Okay, and we'll see you guys. I'll try to have this up in the next couple of days, as I said, and we'll see you guys at the next meeting.
No worries.
Take care of
Great.
yourselves. Keep making shavings. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Log
ya.
in it,
Yep. Bye all.
the site.